Hi, I'm Stephanie Jaworski of joybaking.com. Today we're going to make a classic fruit tart. There are three components to a fruit tart. There's the tart shell, the pastry cream, and the fresh fruit. There is a recipe for a sweet pastry crust on the site along with the video, and you need to fully bake and have that cooled. And there is also a recipe for a pastry cream along with the video on the site. So what you could do is a few days before you're going to need the fruit tart, you could make and cool the crust as well as the pastry cream. So normally you could just put the pastry cream onto the tart shell and then layer the fruit. But what I'm going to show you is first, in order for the cream not to make the crust a little soft, you can heat 1/2 cup, that's about 120 milliliters, of apricot fruit preserves. Just bring that to boiling. And then I'm going to strain that to get rid of any of the large pieces of fruit. So just strain that into a bowl. So once you do that, it's a little thick, so what I'm going to do is just add a little bit of water, or you could even add a little bit of liqueur. And then what I'm going to do is take a little of that, and I'm just going to brush the bottom of the tart shell. And what that does is, oops, cracked a little, that's okay. It's just going to seal the crust. So therefore, once we put the cream in there, it won't make it soggy. Now normally what you want to do is put the apricot preserves on there and then just leave it for maybe 15 minutes for it to dry. But in the interest of time, I won't do that. So then what we're going to do then is take the pastry cream and put it into the shell. Now if you had put this in the refrigerator, and then brought it to room temperature, what you want to do before you put into the shell is just kind of whisk it to get it soft. You could also add like 1/2 cup of softly whipped cream to the pastry cream, and that would even make it not so thick. So then just empty that in. And then just back of a spoon or an offset spatula, spread that. So we just want a nice even layer. Okay, and now what we're going to do is layer the fruit. Now you could use a variety of fruits and berries. What I have here is I have some kiwi fruit that I've peeled and sliced up. I have some strawberries, some raspberries, and blackberries. Now you could just take all this and just kind of pile it haphazardly on top. Or you could, like making concentric circles, and you can be just as creative as you want with this. I'm just going to do kind of just use whatever fruit is in season that's really nice looking. You could use even just one berry. If you wanted to cover the whole thing with, say, just raspberries or blackberries, blueberries. Really just is personal choice and what kind of fruit your family likes. And then you could just, I'll just use some kiwi fruit. Maybe I'll alternate it with some strawberries. Kind of overlap them. As you can see, there's no real right or wrong way to do this. Okay, and then just pile up some blackberries in the center. Like so. Now if you wanted, I tend to just do it like this, but you could, a lot of times the professionals like to take more of the apricot preserves, and I'm just going to, it's a little thick, so I'm just going to thin it out with a little more water. And what they like to do, and this to seal in the fruit so it doesn't get dry, especially the cut fruit, is to just put a light coating of the preserves, just use a pastry brush on the fruit. And this will keep it from drying out, and it also makes it nice and shiny. And you could make this early in the day and just store it, cover and store it in the refrigerator, but try to bring it to room temperature before serving. So there you go. Fruit tart. Until next time, I'm Stephanie Jaworski of joyofbaking.com.